Welcome to this EPE resource on keeping a research journal and how to use it to develop and express a researcher voice. Postgraduate research presents many students with a challenge in the form of developing and expressing with confidence their researcher voice. But what is this really? This term voice is used metaphorically in postgraduate studies to denote the contribution to knowledge that you are making, the argument you have crafted, and the research problem you are solving that adds a dimension to knowledge and practice in your field. This, as you may already know, is no mean feat. Developing a voice understood in these terms takes time and cannot be done passively. A research journal is one tool you can use to actively develop your voice and all the thinking that goes into the process of doing this. You can write in it, draw in it, scribble in it. How you keep your research journal is up to you. However, it is useful to think about making notes in your research journal in a way that will make sense to you when you come back to them later on. The point of research journals, however you decide to keep one, is to help you chronicle your research process. What are you thinking about or struggling with at this point in time? What flash of inspiration have you had that you need to write down? What new connections have you made between, for example, your theory and your data, or between different bodies of literature that you've been reading? What questions do you need answers to from your supervisor or mentors? Where is your research now? And where do you need to go from here to move forward? And so on. Like reading journals, these are personal research journals. You are writing to yourself to document and reflect on your unfolding and evolving research process. This screen shows an entry being made in my own research journal, an attempt at outlining a paper. One of the benefits of working in a paper journal like the one used here is that you can embrace different forms of representation. You can write or draw, your text can be linear or non-linear. This multimodal form of capturing your thinking is not only more enjoyable and makes academic work feel like fun rather than a chore, it also enables you to think outside of what can sometimes feel like quite a restrictive box of what counts as academic writing. It's not just a space for ideas. You can also use your journal to note aspects of your argument, data, methodology, and so on that you may have questions about or need input on, so that you can make these journals part of your meetings with your supervisors, postgraduate mentors, or even peers who may be doing a degree with you. The journal is there to help you develop your voice, and you can use it in a range of ways to enable this. These kinds of journal entries can also happen anywhere, at your desk, under a tree in your garden, at a coffee shop, or even on a plane. You should carry your research journal with you all the time so that you can write in it whenever inspiration strikes. I'd like to close this video by offering you a challenge now. If you are new to research journals, I'd like you to try and make your first entry. You can either do it in a paper journal as was shown in the previous screen, or you can type it on your computer. Set your timer for 7 minutes and just write as freely as you can. An idea might be to start with where you are at this point in your study. What are you currently working on? Are you struggling with anything in particular? If so, what? What do you plan to do in the next week or so? Do you have any questions for a supervisor if there's a meeting coming up? Try and let the thinking flow. Don't overthink it too much. And then try and keep this practice up a few times a week if you can, or even every day at first until it becomes a good habit. So that this journal, in addition to your reading journal and other forms of tracking your study, can be helpful in building your ability to reflect on your postgraduate research journey and learn more about yourself as a writer and a researcher as you do.